everyone. I'm here with Jay Martin at the Cambridge House International Conference, and he is the CEO and president. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time with him because he is the one, his company puts on all of these events. So Jay, can you kind of share your story, your company, how it got started briefly? I know you don't have a lot of time.
Sure. No, I'm happy to, Gina. Thanks for having me on. So Cambridge House has actually been around for 23 years now. The first official Cambridge House event was in 1993. It was called the Diamond Investment Conference. This was held, I believe, at the Vancouver Hotel. There was maybe 8 companies present. Maybe a couple dozen investors showed up, and it was founded by my father, Joe Martin. And he grew it from there, experimenting in markets all over BC and Canada and the US, small towns, cities. He took the show wherever junior mining companies were able to finance. So Joe began to step away in about 2007, 2008. We began assembling a new team at Cambridge. And today we operate 3 junior mining investment conferences here in Vancouver and in San Francisco, and technology investment conferences in Toronto and Vancouver.
Amazing, excellent. And so from what I gather, you took over during the bear market, so that was kind of a tough time for you to take over the company. And
it depends on how you look at it. I think it was very opportune. Yeah, it was 2010, and the market began to collapse, May 2011. And so honestly, probably the healthiest thing that can happen for a succession is a bear market, because we built a new team through 2011, 2012, and 2013. And as a result, the team at Cambridge House today has never had an easy buck, hasn't been in a good market. They know how to grind. They work incredibly hard. We're very, very fortunate with the team that we built, because we made it work. They made it work, in one of the worst markets that most professionals in this sector have ever seen. And it forced us to get creative, forced us to operate lean and efficient, and forced us to diversify. And now, in addition to our mining properties, we have the 2 biggest technology investment conferences in Canada. And it's another sector we're very bullish on and have a lot of fun operating in.
Yep. So for those that have never been here to the Vancouver conference, it's amazing. I mean, there's just booths, and it's bustling and hustling all throughout here. Deals are being made. I'm actually in the deal room right now. So I just want to give some perspective on how large it is, because we are at the Vancouver Convention Center. So obviously Vancouver is a major city here, and to actually, be at the Convention Center is pretty significant. About how many resource companies are in attendance that have booths here? What's the kind of
333.
Wow, that's pretty large. And how does that compare to the technology conferences that you put on?
So our next technology conference is actually in 9 days in Toronto. It's the CanTech Investment Conference. This show is in its 5th year. We launched it in 2014. Our first year we had 18 companies and 400 investors. This year we'll have 121 companies, and we expect about 3,500 investors to attend.
Wow, that's pretty large. So, what does it take to kind of take over a company from maybe your parents and your dad? In this case, I met his father briefly last night. He's an amazing man, and I just want to see kind of how the dynamics are, and what are the success factors that's going to make someone successful in taking over the helm of an organization.
Well, I mean, first of all, it makes me very fortunate, right? I had a lot of insight growing up, close to this business, and obviously, Joe has always been, a massive asset to us at Cambridge House, even since he still comes to all the conferences. He's always here because, this is really his community, and coming out to events like this is like a reunion every time. But yeah, it's, there's definitely unique challenges taking over a family business. But, we've got a fantastic relationship, and we still work very well together on projects inside and outside of Cambridge House.
Yep. And last night there was a kind of an award ceremony for what his father had put together, and Hall of Fame award. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Correct name. And kind of shared something about what his father had done when he was a boy, and everyone else, no one knew what an entrepreneur was when you were kind of growing up, and you would say that was your.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what the profession his father had, and it was kind of stuck with me as really profound. So, could you tell that story really quickly?
Yeah, sure.
I think it was really.
Joe has always been an entrepreneur. Since before me and after me. He founded BC Business Magazine, very famous publication up here in Canada prior to Cambridge House. And so growing up in that environment, it was, I think as a kid you look at what your parents might do and assume maybe that one day that's what I will do too. And so entrepreneurship was always front of mind for me, even when I was maybe 9, 10 years old. And when I would get asked as a child, what is it that your dad does? I would say very naturally, well, he's an entrepreneur. And the adults I was speaking to would often respond with an expression that just said, oh, this kid's dad is unemployed. Because although today entrepreneurship is very much in vogue, in the 90s not everybody thought that way, And so that was always fun. But I think it's important, and I'm very fortunate to have had that exposure at a young age, right?
Absolutely, and it's a real struggle. I mean, for people that have kind of gone through the corporate world, which many of it sounds like the people that were your parents of the kids that you went to school with, who said that your father didn't have a job, they probably had jobs, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so it's a very different mindset, and I was coming out of college in that era, and that's what I recall as well. Entrepreneurs didn't have a job, so I just thought that was interesting. So I want to just ask a few more things. What does it take, because you probably see all types of companies, new companies, existing older companies, more established ones come into this space. Is there any kind of pointers, advice that you can give someone that is trying to get into the mining space or the technology space that is going to give them a good success, a good probability of success?
Yeah, as an investor, 100%. I think that first of all, it's very, very easy to get caught up in hype. Right now, in the innovation space, everybody is piling into blockchain, investors and companies alike. That is when you need to be incredibly cautious. I think power in numbers can provide false security. It's not safe. The venture market is always going to be inherently risky. And so the junior mining space right now is at a fantastic stage because the sector has just been beat up for 6 years. Rick Rule has an awesome quote that he said at our show in San Francisco in November. He says, people expect their immediate future to reflect their immediate past. And if your immediate past is one where you have been punished, then what do you expect in the future? And I think if you're a junior mining investor, that quote will probably resonate with you because you've just been beat up for 5 or 6 years. And as a result, you look at a show like this today, sure, it's grown by 40% year over year. From a company standpoint, the attendance is up. Definitely people are more enthusiastic and they're coming out, but they're still a bit shell-shocked. And that's, I think, the perfect approach to have. You're curious, you want to take that step, but you're doing your diligence. You're coming to shows like this and you're talking to the CEO because that's who you're giving your money to when you're investing. In the venture market, you're not investing in some mega corporation. It's often 1 or 2 individuals that will be deciding what happens with your cash. So take the time to get to know them. I think that's super important. And the thing is, at shows like this, they want to have that conversation. That's why they're here. They want to talk to you. And so take that opportunity. It's, every single time.
Yep, no, I would agree. And I think that actually putting these events on I'm an investor first and foremost. I just turned into a media company overnight, believe it or not. But for many of my subscribers or viewers, they're in the U.S. I want them to know how to get a hold of Cambridge House, how to find out more information, how to be able to participate as an investor, as I am able to do, right?
Sure.
So can you kind of share how to find out more information about Cambridge House and get on the list for when you are going to have these events? I'm kind of plugged into it, but
definitely, yeah. So all of our events are listed at cambridgehouse.com, and on the homepage you'll always see what's coming up in the next few quarters, whether it's technology in Toronto or natural resource in San Francisco. Right on the website there's the opportunity to plug in your email for our subscriptions, and you'll get all the show updates as well. At Cambridge House on Twitter. We stay fairly active.
Excellent. And I think that you said you're videotaping many of the main events.
Everything.
Is that actually, people can buy that on your website, or how does that
No, so we actually host it all for free on cambridgehouse.com. So all of the talks, all of the content you've seen, speaker halls, workshops, company presentations, debates, panels. Cambridgehouse.com, we host daily editorial, daily video distribution. You know, we're a content company first and foremost. We're the property we want you to come to when you want to know what's happening. And so for anybody who wasn't able to attend the show, we want them to have equal access. It's all up there, all for your consumption.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So really take advantage of the information that's out there on the web, because having something that is that resourceful and that valuable, that's free, is you know, I'm grateful and I'm thankful to you, because it's a wealth of information. But better yet, you can come here with me the next time. Well, Jay, thank you so much. I appreciate your time to kind of share with my audience.
Thank you.
All of the information. I would love to have you back and come back and see me in the U.S. And
I'd love to.
yeah, I would love to attend your technology conference as well.
Fantastic. Yeah, thank you, Gina.
All right, thank you, Jay.
I knew what I needed, so I went out and got it. Started stacking up assets, now I'm bringing in profits. I knew what I needed, so I went out and got it. Started stacking up assets, now I'm bringing in profits.